So when I looked at this, and I blew everything up today, Sasha and I said, I'm going to talk about sort of a how, what, and why, about how to sort of understand the need for a strategic partner, how to read the data, and then how to measure it, and then I did this. So then Sasha went and did the practical side of it, and I'll go back and sort of dip into the theoretical side, or the how I know what's going wrong and how to fix it. So how do you complete a customer experience with partnerships? Some things you shouldn't do, right? So we can flip.
Oh, you have
I can flip.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So one of the things we do at Brand New Matter is we put people through a boot camp, a workshop. We call it a 30-day deep dive. One of the things we do is we flow them through goal setting. In the middle of their goal setting, they become aware that they need to do certain things. Some people say, hey, in the second year, we're going to triple our sales. That's great. How are you going to do it? I'm not thinking of adding any sales staff. That's a problem. I'm not thinking of adding sort of any conversion benefit to my website. That's also a problem. I'm probably not going to do any more marketing. Well, that's a problem. And you sort of go through these things, which are super remedial, should be pretty easy to think about. But when you're running a company, startup growth, mature companies, sometimes in the budgeting process, sometimes in the executional phase of your business, you lose sight of the way things need to be process flowed. If I want to increase sales, I have to do these things, right? So the conditional if-then, we kind of forget about that. We just worry about the 6 inches, 6 feet in front of us. So in this version, and this is a real case study that we did with a company, they basically said, hey, we're going to validate that people like our service. And we're just going to get to 1,500 users. And they didn't really think about what that meant. So they needed to partner with somebody. They either needed to partner with somebody on the fulfillment side, you can call it customer success, you can call it fulfillment, or they needed to partner with somebody on the marketing agency side. 2 examples of the ways data can point to you, this is probably a good time to act. So why do you partner? It's all pretty easy, right? Look, you can partner because there are things that you shouldn't do, things that you're bad at, things that aren't quite at scale and may not make sense for you. Do I need a chatbot? I don't know. Don't build it, please. Please don't build it. There are people that are spending tons of money and all of their time figuring out how to build a chatbot SaaS platform for you to connect into. Use that. If it works, then build your own. Sometimes there's product gaps that your team just can't solve, right? It's not that it's not worth your time, that they just can't solve it. They're not technically good enough. There are technical outsources that you can use. Think about it. One of the biggest reasons that people partner is they need to reduce time to market. They've got to get bigger faster. You can think about doing that as well. Strategic markets, I don't know how to go overseas, I don't know how to go to Asia. Think about having boots on the ground, people that have done that stuff before as your partner. And then a lot of times, from a partnership perspective, it increases your valuation. Now this is why it's good for companies. Clearly it's good for customers because you solve a need. They buy more because stuff's on the shelves, or they just think your website's better and they come back and tell their friends. So here are the types of partnerships. Now, by the way, I'm going to try not to say any of the buzzwords, so you'll boo if I do. Fulfillment and travel is always a big one. I can sell you a ton of stuff, but I actually don't know how to process it, right? So there's a lot of white label partnerships. Expedia gives me the Ian network. You can plug into them and you can sell. You don't have to be the merchant of record, but you can collect a commission. That makes sense. Business intelligence, right? I can use Domo or platforms to show me what my customers are doing, what people are doing on my website. I can use Google Analytics as well, obviously, to show me the story about where stuff breaks down. Again, as I become aware of people leaving my website, bouncing out of my funnel, that's where data tells me you have a problem, okay? You either have a problem with your product, you have a problem with your prices, or something else is going wrong. You have to be aware of it. So read your data. Revenue management and property management for hoteliers. This is a big thing, right? You want to get direct bookings and sort of move out of the OTA channel. There are ways to do that when it makes sense, and I'm sure Dell will have some questions about when I should be taking business from a specific channel over other channels. It's not always OTA all the time. It's not always direct all the time. Sometimes there's reasons to take people and treat them differentially based on where they're coming in. Marketing, probably one of the easiest ways to partner to give benefit to your business and benefit to customers. Marketing agencies can sometimes tell a better story about why people want to use your business than you can. Sad but true. Use them to do that and use them to increase your scale. HR tech, all these SaaS platforms that exist, sometimes things are not worth your time to do. And if they're worth your time, you may not be able to do them well. So use the people that have built businesses to help you provide better service to your employees and by extension to your customers. So how do you pick somebody from a partnership perspective, right? So 3 pretty easy ways to do it. Clearly understand what you're asking, and does it matter? Are customers leaving my website? Yes. Are they leaving my website on the front page where I let them search? No. Okay, so I don't have a search problem. They're leaving when they see all of the inventory. Well, I guess I have a product problem. So let's figure out what that is. What markets are they leaving in? Well, they're leaving in Germany and France. Okay, maybe I need to have hotel beds, you know, sort of augment my inventory on those pages. Maybe I need direct partners from those markets and be added to my inventory. Read the data, validate the need, see the gap, and fix it. After you figure out that, yeah, I really do have a problem in this area or these areas, figure out what partners you should be working with, right? One of the big things you've got to figure out is company culture actually matters in some cases. Are the teams that you're going to be interacting with going to mesh at all with you and the people that they're going to be talking to? Let's figure that out. How hard is it to integrate, right? HR, sort of SaaS platform stuff, probably a big lift. Adding distribution, more inventory into your website, probably not that big of a lift, hopefully. Add that in first, right? Size it and implement it. And then make sure it's not a one and done, right? A lot of people like to sign a deal, a contract, shove it in a drawer. You've got to make sure that you have regular check-ins. You've got to make sure that there's actually a working relationship that matters. Be important to your partner so that they'll treat you like an important account. So how do you measure if what you've done works? You know, it's pretty easy, right? These are easy KPIs. If you did it for reducing your time to market, did you do that? Right? That's a time-based one, right? If it's a product gap or a product gap that you don't think your team can do, right? One's something that you shouldn't do. I shouldn't add a rental car white label by building sort of a bridge to all the rental car companies all over the world. Maybe I should just go and find somebody to do that for me. Okay, so if I do that, what did it do to my gross sales? What did it do to my overall conversion rate? What did it do to my repeat rate? What does the data tell me about what the customers are doing? You know, if you want to enter another market, that's an easy one. That's kind of a checkbox, yes or no. And again, if you've increased the KPIs of your gross sales, your sort of total travel value, your lifetime value of a customer, generally that's going to increase your company valuation. So, you know, what I wanted to do is to sort of say, there's a lot of reasons that we can talk about customer data, and there are a lot of reasons that travel as an industry does a bad job in moving people along. If I know you've taken a trip, if I know you've taken an airplane trip, clearly you probably, if you don't live in Vegas, need somewhere to stay. Travel agencies are horrible, sort of across the entire phalanx of it, of nailing on that hotel stay, right? That's not something we do well. Offline is worse than online, but we still don't do a very good job of marketing. So, you know, the data problem in travel is clearly, if you sense that somebody's going somewhere, if they're going to be in an airport, sell them a car because they need to get from the airport to where they're going. That's just a connection problem that we should all deal with and fix. But what I wanted to do in my presentation is sort of take a step back and say, are you planning to sort of fix the relationship with your customers by adding strategic partners, because that's an easy way to provide better service and basically build a better company.